I'm Joe Bigley.
Joe who?
Bigley?
Bigley. All right, Joe. And what do you do?
I'm a mixed media sculptor, artist, do a lot of social commentary.
Social commentary?
That's what I try to
You
call it.
you write?
I do some writings, but I guess my commentary is more in a visual form.
Got you, got you.
Yeah.
Please tell me about this work of art you got here at the Roots.
Well, this is a site-specific piece that is my take on some of the psychological implications of marketing
Ooh.
and how they certainly play on our sexual impulses.
Ooh.
So I have 14 carrots hanging from sticks.
14
My
carats.
14 karat gold.
14. Gotcha.
So the carrot and the stick is an analogy for reward and punishment.
Okay.
So the carrots are dried out and no longer edible,
Okay.
which in my take at least references how people will work in jobs that are not very fulfilling to
Wow.
buy these products that society tells us we need, and then they're no longer fulfilling, and the punishment is the job.
Wow.
And the carrots, in my opinion, resemble sperm when they're all dried out. So this form in the middle is supposed to be a giant female egg. So all the sperm are kind of trying to get to the egg. And the saddle is because corporations are taking us for a ride.
Ooh, say that again. I want to make sure I get everything on the recording.
Well, the carrots dried out symbolize sperm that are trying to get to the egg.
Gotcha.
And the saddle is there because I feel like corporations are just taking us for a ride.
Now tell us a little bit. You mentioned a while ago about spiritualism and materialism. How does that play in your work of art?
Well, I think historically we've had comfort in material possessions because it was a means for survival. But we no longer need that abundance of materialism because we can go down to Walmart and buy whatever we need for $3.99.
Yeah.
So I feel like the markets are exploiting that materialism that's inherent in survival and eroding a sense of spirituality. So the more you own reflects how good of a person you are rather than your morality or your character.
Wow. So how important is character and morality to you?
Well, I think it defines everybody. I don't think a BMW is any more impressive than a Yugo. You know, it may be just because their folks are rich, but they could be they could have questionable morale or character, drive a BMW, and I don't think that makes them any more valuable of a person. It's more about how you contribute to society, I think, than what you're able to purchase.
Tell me about the guns. The guns over here.
This one over here?
Yeah. What is it saying? It says here consequentialism mixed media work by Joe. Ooh.
So, consequentialism is the consequences of the impact that the media has on our psychological state. I guess not to sound too pretentious. But this gun piece, I like the terminology of the word hard, being tough. So if you come hard at somebody, it means you're tough. So I changed the barrel of the gun from being straight to the angle of an erection. So that's why the first piece is called hard.
Oh,
It's
okay.
kind of tongue in cheek.
And what's this next piece? This piece over here.
Well, I think it's easy to see how marketing and advertising influences a complacency in accepting violence, especially in war.
Wow. Say that again now.
Well, marketing and selling toys to young kids, I think, is contributing to accepting war and allowing media outlets to influence people to get behind reasonings to go to war. I think the war in Iraq and Afghanistan are prime examples. So that's why there's a toy gun here that's covered with tar, because it's concealing what it actually is, but not enough that you don't recognize it. So it's still kind of sticky, just like the argument of going to war.
How long have you been involved in this type of social media artwork?
Probably for about the last 10 years or so.
And why has this been your direction in which to express your opinion?
Well, I like to think that the artist is a barometer of culture, and we have a responsibility of speaking out against things that, when we notice people in power are exploiting the disenfranchised, we need to encourage people to think about ways society could be improved.
And with your work, how do you display that message of evolving as a human to another level of conscious awareness of the exploitation?
Well, I try to strike a kind of a neutral chord, because if you're too heavy-handed with it, you can get people to be dismissive or aggravated. So I guess all this work and a lot of what I do is just to try to get people to think about why they believe what they believe already, and some of the social influences that have contributed to that construct.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to change people's minds, but just trying them to sharpen their own mind, I guess.
Gotcha. So you're trying to bring a consciousness to the minds of everybody as to what's really going on.
Yeah, I think just to encourage people to think, because capitalism tries to get people not to think. That's the whole system of credit. Don't think about it now, just pay it off tomorrow, and then it'll cost twice as much.
So this is the tar. You did this piece here too, right? What now? Why is? Tell me about this. It says God at the top and government at the bottom. What is the meaning behind that?
Well, God is in the letters box, and government is in the bills box. So we all got to pay taxes, which I agree with. I think they help with funding the necessary aspects of society, like roads and that sort of thing.
Right.
And then the letter to God would be like a prayer. So I think government and religion are the two major influential psychological factors on individuals. So I just kind of found this thing in like a thrift store and figured it would be nice to use it as a foundation for some social commentary.
Social commentary. So do you have a blog or have a web?
I have a website. I tried to start a blog, but I haven't really updated it in a while.
So give us your information online, on
Sure.
the camera, so I can have it there.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the website is joebigley.com.
Okay.
That's Joebigley.
Okay.
And I have a link to a major project that I did that actually brought me through Wonder Route in 2011, where I had mapped out and bicycled the length and shape of the border of Afghanistan within the United States, starting at ground zero and then going way the hell out west and then coming back around through Atlanta. So that's a project that may interest some folks.